I really need to articulate my position on this one a little bit deeper, though, to say what it is that I'm really thinking about the whole thing. I'm well aware of the fact that the push that I'm making and the president is making would result in it being dark probably around about 4 p.m. But I see people complaining about the fact that, they don't like the fact that it's already dark at 5 p.m. and they're like, oh, I should just go to bed already. And I'm like, good, go to bed. Like, do you understand? Like, all right, I arrived at this position because I've been pissed off for a long time. I came up in the United States through our public education system, and I never forgot what it was like rising at 7 in the morning to rising before 7 p.m. to make classes that started at 7:40 in the morning at our high school. Start times as a teenager. It wrecked my whole academic experience as a teenager. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't sync up and make that change at everything. My parents tried to drag me out of bed, tried their damnedest to force me to go to school. I remember one time she sent me literally to school, drove me all the way there, and I just walked home on her, put my backpack on the ground, and said, "Fuck it, I'm like, we can play this game, but it's not happening. I'm not going to class late because you dragged me in late because of all this. This is just not happening." And protested that way, put my foot down. Unfortunately, I didn't get picked up by the truancy officer that night, and everything. But, I've had struggles with rising and making that sort of brutally, early morning, sort of thing ever since I was a fucking teenager. And yeah, sometimes I'm up at those hours, but, that's largely because I've been awake all night, usually, by the time if I'm up at that kind of time as an adult. And, I gotta say, I've long hated the system at hand. I've wanted changes like, later class times and everything. And I see people and I see them, I get it. I mean, I see their frustrations and that, no, I'm sad that it's getting dark early. They don't like that. They don't like that it's already dark at 5 p.m. Well, I don't care. You see, because that's not my priority. My priority is that everybody gets more sleep. Yeah, and basically, people tell me just go to bed earlier, but that doesn't really solve it for me because I'm not worried about it just being me. I'm worried about it everybody in my society doing it. So if I see somebody saying that, it's already dark at 5 p.m., I feel like I should just go to sleep already. I'm like, well, fine, good, go to sleep. America is an overworked, underslept nation that doesn't get enough leisure, relaxation, and everything else, and time away from work. We are a nation that has turned the Protestant, gone basically way too hard towards the Protestant work ethic to the point in which we've got people flexing because of how much suffering they've put in at work, at everything, and all the horrors that they've put themselves through, as if this is some kind of achievement, which means that they've just lost the plot because they don't, who wants that? Who wants to live that life where, basically you're putting in so much effort and everything for your own financial health that you've overworked yourself to the point of exhaustion. Like, who wants that really at everything? And so my whole point in all of this is that I totally get it. I understand the implications of a push to a standard time system, but I think that we should care a little bit more about the fact that Americans don't get enough sleep as a nation collectively than we do our own petty desires to see it be, you know, light a little bit later into the evening. That's not really a priority for me. And seeing people be frustrated about it and complaining only makes me dig my heels in and want standard time more. Because I hear them say that. I hear them say that they'll go to bed, that's what they want to do anyways because it's already dark. And I'm like, oh, good. Well, then at least they're getting their sleep. Finally, at least that would help solve the fucking problem. This is an underslept, overworked nation, basically, that is underpaid, underappreciated. It's got real problems in that regard. I mean, you've got people flexing and then you've got people that feel the need to apologize just because they went to sleep on the internet. That's what they do. That's what they've internalized hustle culture to such a huge extent that it's turned toxic. Like, you get me? Like I'm all for people hustling. I just think over hustling is also a danger. So, you know what I mean? Like, this has to be. You're more productive, basically, if when you get more rest. Like, you go back and forth from work, sleep, take a break every now and then, go to sleep every now and then. You know what I mean. You need rest and renewal, and then you get back to work. Balance. That's basically the whole thing. And I hear people saying that they'll go to sleep if they, if it's dark. If it's dark already at 5 p.m. Well, imagine what they'll think if it's 4 p.m. Hopefully they actually will go to bed. That would be good.